After the Tournament of Power, Jiren, the man stronger than a god of destruction, stayed missing for a while. During that time, Goku met the legendary Broly. In this chapter you are about to see, Goku suggests that the two monsters face each other to unlock the hidden power within one another, and the result was this. The chapter begins on Lord Beerus's planet. A massive burst of energy appears, and suddenly we can see a hand. Goku does a sequence of backflips. He is concentrated using natural Ultra Instinct. Goku quickly looks up and he sees Broly. Broly is in Super Saiyan form and he is furious. Broly charges at Goku, and even without any transformation, Goku is serene and calm. Goku prepares the natural Ultra Instinct dodge, and Broly unleashes a series of attacks on him, but Goku is impenetrable, and his defense does not let a single blow through. Broly then shows a furious glare and charges an energy attack with his mouth, but thanks to this version, the natural Ultra Instinct that does not require a transformation to use the instinct, Goku is able to dodge. Chilai, the girl who found Broly on planet Vampa, and Whis watch the frantic battle. Goku and Broly rush toward each other. Goku flashes a smile with his Ultra Instinct transformation. Broly says, "Kakarot, I am not going to hold back. Fight for real." Suddenly, Whis strikes his staff on the ground. Broly and Goku are then teleported to a different place. Broly is confused. Goku looks all around. Whis remains calm and says, "I hate to interrupt the fun, boys, but waking up Lord Beerus by destroying his planet is something I would strongly advise against." And Goku says, "Yeah, that is probably not a good idea. Thank you, Whis. We owe you one." Whis continues, "Your friend Broly, he has real potential. I have seen it myself, but I think he thrives under pressure. Broly can adapt and overcome obstacles he faces with relative ease, even more so than you, Goku." Goku thinks, an obstacle? Let me think. I have faced some very tough opponents, but there is one guy I am excited to check on beyond all the others. I definitely would not be where I am today without him. He was like a brick wall. I barely brought down Jiren. Whis says, "Actually, I can only imagine how strong Jiren is now." "Yes, no doubt about it. After all, he is incredibly strong," says Goku. Excited, Chilai speaks up and says, "I do not like this, Broly." And Broly, a little awkward, looks to the side and Whis gives a little smile in the back. Goku says, "Well, are you ready for this?" Broly looks firmly and with a smile on his face nods his head. Goku smiles, and preparing the instant transmission, he says, "Very well, I will go and get him right now." Then he closes his eyes and searches for his key across the universe. "Ah yes, I cannot go that far." And Whis says, "I am surprised that you have not perfected this technique. Let us see your old friend." So now we are on a planet in Universe 11. Jiren is with his back turned. Then Goku's legs appear. "Son Goku," says Jiren looking back, and we can see Goku, Whis, and Broly. Goku says, "Long time no see, Jiren. I want to introduce you to a friend of mine." And Jiren is curious. Broly just observes the situation, and now, finally, they are face to face, Broly and Jiren. Goku says, "I know you had fun fighting me, Jiren, but this guy is on a completely different level." Jiren just watches. "Even after fighting you, it took everything I had to try to beat Broly. I could not beat him alone. No matter how much I tried, he is too strong." Jiren looks with a serious expression, and Goku smiles. Jiren says, "A chance to test my limits. I have to admit, Son Goku, your offer is intriguing, but I will refuse." "Ah, come on, Jiren. Broly was all excited and everything. With the potential the two of you have, there is no telling what levels you can both reach." And Jiren looks back, interested. Broly. Then Jiren says, "Son Goku, I have had some time to think since the tournament. Now I understand you better than ever." Goku says, "Does that mean you are ready for this?" Jiren looks kind of surprised, but there is a smile. "If you really think I can reach new levels, who am I to deny your judgment?" Goku says, "Trust me, Broly has more potential than I could ever imagine. He keeps surprising me all the time. You may be just the push he needs to reach the next level." Broly looks and makes an excited face. Eager for the battle, Jiren accepts Broly's challenge with a glance. Then he looks down with his chin raised, and after that makes an expression ready for the fight. Then Goku starts training with Broly for the combat. Broly is training with Goku, who dodges every single blow. This time, not with natural Ultra Instinct, but with mastered Ultra Instinct, the most powerful version. And here begins the second chapter, titled Instincts. Broly comes in with everything toward Goku with a kick, but Goku says, "That is good. Your energy is starting to feel natural. In a short time, you will have mastered Super Saiyan completely. Kakarot, why do you not use all of your power?" asks Broly. Goku then says to Broly, "Your ability to adapt is out of the ordinary, but it does not compare to Ultra Instinct. Ultra Instinct is the same thing as natural Ultra Instinct. Ultra Instinct can adapt and surpass any obstacle at full power instantly." And Broly asks, "And does that guy do it like you too?" And Goku answers, "Ah, you mean Jiren? He likes to test his opponents. However, I am not sure how strong he might be now, but I bet it is pretty intense." Broly then comes in with everything with a strike toward Goku. Goku stays firm with that bring it on look. Then Broly's punch lands square on Goku's chest. Goku remains intact after the blow, and Broly's hand starts to hurt. Whis watches with a smile on his face, and Goku and Ultra Instinct begins to explain to Broly, "I am going to tell you something, Broly. I know someone who can teach you in a way that I cannot." And and Broly is curious. Then Goku returns to his base form and prepares the instant transmission. He says, "I will be back," and Goku is gone. Broly looks back and sees Whis. Whis says, "Well, I will tell you, it has been a while since I have had a good warm-up. Let us get to it." Then Broly starts training with Whis. He goes in with several blows, but of course he cannot land any. Whis says, "You know, Broly, Goku may have Ultra Instinct, but you are special. You have your own instincts, and they are more powerful than most Saiyans. I think your next goal should be learning to tap into those instincts. Then you will be able to stand on equal ground with Goku." Broly, throwing his sequence of blows, asks, "My instincts?" "Yes," Whis answered. "When you lost control of yourself on Earth, your Saiyan instincts were at their peak. I have never seen anyone adapt so naturally and quickly without a divine technique. You were born with an innate instinct for battle, at least in body, but not in mind. Your body has a mind of its own when you lose yourself in your instincts. It reminds me a lot of a divine technique, but for you, it is natural. You need to learn to control those instincts without giving into them too much or too little. A perfect balance, so to speak." And Whis steps away from Broly. Broly looks, and with an angry expression says, "I understand. Goku instant transmissions back to Beerus's planet." He says, "Broly, come with me. I have found a better place to train, where we can really let loose." Then we see a sandy landscape with a pyramid. There, Vegeta is waiting. Goku and Broly arrive. Broly looks at Vegeta. Vegeta, with his back turned, looks at Broly seriously. The brightness brings focus to their gazes meeting. Broly then turns his back. Goku gets startled and says, "Broly, are you okay?" Vegeta's father was an idiot, but Vegeta himself is not like that. I guarantee it. Vegeta looks at Broly and in his thoughts says, "This is Broly, no doubt about it. He is the Saiyan of legend." Goku continues saying, "You too, Vegeta. Come on, guys. This is a great opportunity to move forward and have a good sparring. After all, we are all Saiyans here." Vegeta pulls Goku's hand off his shoulder. "Let us go," says Vegeta. Broly just watches. Then they arrive at the hyperbolic time chamber. Goku says, "Alright, gang, time for you to settle this the old-fashioned way with a good fight, and do not worry about holding back here, because this place can definitely handle it." Vegeta looks, and Broly starts raising his ki, transforming into Super Saiyan. Vegeta says, "Very well, prepare yourself for a dose of pure pain." Vegeta transforms into Super Saiyan Blue and lands a full strike on Broly's face. "You have no idea who you are, do you?" Kakarot makes the fight seem like a game, but that is not always the case. Sometimes things get serious, and Vegeta lands a kick on Broly that throws him far away. "What is wrong? Where is that power you showed before?" Goku says, "Broly is not like you, Vegeta. Before we started fighting, he did not really like to fight, according to that woman, Chilai. Is that right? What is the problem, Broly? Have you lost your pride as a Saiyan? I am not like you. I fight for others, not to hurt people." So that is what you think about fighting? Wrong. As much as you have been with Kakarot, I figured you would know that. Broly watches. "We Saiyans fight to better ourselves and strive to grow stronger. My father, he may have sent you away, but that was a mistake. If he had instilled his pride in all Saiyans, and not only in me, the Saiyans would never have been killed." The note explains that instilled has the same meaning as persuaded and convinced. "You are special, Broly. You are what my ancestors waited for over 1,000 years. You are the legendary Super Saiyan." Broly is surprised. Goku says, "Wait, what? We always thought the legendary Super Saiyan was a bloodthirsty monster. My ancestors, for generations, modeled themselves after the Super Saiyan in the hope of reaching his power, and I was the final product of that goal. But it seems we were wrong. You are not a bloodthirsty monster. Your instincts are the instincts of a Saiyan, and they are more powerful than any Saiyan that has existed in the last 1,000 years. All of your abilities as a Saiyan far exceed mine and Kakarot's. The reason you hit a wall is because Kakarot is on a level above your punches. He did his job teaching you to master Super Saiyan. I will give him credit for that, but you need to awaken that beast that lies within, and I know exactly how to do it." Vegeta transforms into Ultra Ego, the transformation of the gods of destruction that they taught to Vegeta, but did not teach to Goku. Broly is startled by Vegeta's Ultra Ego. Vegeta, with a wicked smile, comes in with everything toward Broly. He hits Broly with a full headbutt. Broly is thrown far away. He is left with a wound on his forehead, and Vegeta is satisfied. Even while also having one, Broly comes screaming with everything toward Vegeta. Goku is watching the combat between the two, and Vegeta says, "Make this Saiyan pump blood." Broly prepares a punch, and Vegeta looks with an evil glare. Suddenly, Broly manages to land a punch on Vegeta. Vegeta looks with a big smile after taking the blow. "Is that all you can do?" says Vegeta, counter-striking Broly downward. Vegeta looks down with a contemptuous expression. Goku keeps watching, and Broly tries to get back up. Vegeta thinks, time to take him to another level. Then Vegeta prepares a sphere with the energy of destruction. Broly looks furious, and Goku looks apprehensive. Hakai, Vegeta hurls the sphere. The sphere of destruction goes full force toward Broly, but Broly raises his head. Then in his eyes we can see the burst of energy. Goku sees a great light exploding in the combat scene, and we can see the size of the impact of Vegeta's blow. With the dust still settling, Vegeta lands on the ground. He then looks through the smoke. He spots a strand of hair, and we can see Broly Broly in all the splendor of his legendary form. Broly looks at Vegeta. Vegeta says, "Now that is more like it," and Goku is surprised. Broly then throws his head back. He is preparing an energy attack. Then he fires a blast from his mouth toward Vegeta. In Ultra Ego, Vegeta prepares himself and strikes his pose, but Broly quickly arrives with his hand and grabs Vegeta's face. Vegeta is taken by surprise. Then Broly slams Vegeta's head into the ground, kicking up dust from the soil once more. He holds Vegeta's face, and we can see Broly enraged. He prepares the muscles in his back, and Vegeta is surprised. Broly slams Vegeta's head again. Broly grins furiously. Then he comes in toward Vegeta. He prepares a kick, but we see Goku's hand touching Vegeta. Goku instant transmissions Vegeta away. Goku and Vegeta observe the sphere of energy where Broly is. He is breaking space-time again. Goku says, "Well, it seems you have awakened the beast. Now he needs to tame it. It is my turn, Vegeta. As you wish." Broly then watches, takes momentum, and comes in with everything toward Goku. Goku prepares, and with both hands he manages to hold Broly in the air. Broly is trapped, and Goku says, "Come on, big guy, you have to." And Broly's eyes lose their pupils. "Alright, I am going to leave you there," says Goku. Broly explodes in fury, which can be seen across the whole environment. Goku says, "Ah, damn, if Broly destroys this place, Beerus is going to kill me." "Kakarot, you know what to do," says Vegeta. "You are a genius, Vegeta." Then Vegeta goes at full speed toward Broly. He lands a full punch that causes a lot of damage to Broly, but Broly manages to retaliate with a kick. The combat between these two remains frantic. Goku instant transmissions Chilai. He says, "Okay, Chilai, let us get you out of here first, alright?" Then Goku instant transmissions Chilai to a safe place. Vegeta, with his back turned, looks behind. Then a hand of Ki comes toward Broly, who is surprised. An explosion can then be seen, and Broly is on the ground, still without control of his powers. Vegeta looks, and Goku reveals his Ki avatar, the special technique he learned during the battle against Moro. Goku in Ultra Instinct looks back and smiling says, "Vegeta," and Vegeta just thinks, Vegeta also summons his own Ki avatar, which this time is a black Uzaru. The Ki avatars of Goku and Vegeta stand before Broly. Broly then senses the danger, and he has a furious expression. Then everything around Broly starts to shine, and he screams, externalizing his power. The hand of Goku's Ki avatar comes toward Broly. Broly is cornered, and we can see the way Goku controls the Ki avatar, mirroring his own movements. We then see the footsteps of Vegeta's Uzaru, and he comes face to face with Broly. Then he says, "Now face me head on." Broly is furious, and Goku watches, and Broly decides to obey Vegeta and face him head on. Vegeta takes a full blow to the stomach, and they keep battling until they get close to Goku's Ki avatar. Then Broly starts trading blows against Goku, but Ultra Instinct is enough to block every one of Broly's strikes. Goku looks with a serious expression, and then Broly returns to battling against Vegeta. The palm of Goku's Ki avatar and the fist of Vegeta's Ki avatar move toward Broly. A bright energy starts pouring out of the legendary Super Saiyan. Goku and Vegeta watch seriously, and Broly manages to defend himself with a sphere of energy. He looks completely overwhelmed inside the sphere. Then inside Broly's mind, Chilai appears. "Broly, it is me. I know you are in there. Please control it. I know you can do it. Do it for me." Then Broly, hearing Chilai's voice, manages to recover his consciousness, and all the darkness in his thoughts begins to fade. We can see energy clearing the environment. Vegeta and Goku are surprised, and inside Broly, Chilai watches, almost as if she were proud, because finally Broly appears in his definitive form. Goku says he did it, and Vegeta says he has finally gained control of his instincts. In the third part of the chapter, we have the title Yin Yang. We see Broly, how he is feeling his energy now. He looks at his hand, then watches Goku and Vegeta arguing. Vegeta grabs Goku by the collar, which leaves Broly confused. Goku says, "Come on, Vegeta, you know it is going to work," and Vegeta reluctantly says, "Fine." Then Goku looks at Broly and says, "So Vegeta and I realize that trying to teach you opposite methods at the same time can be a little confusing." Then they prepare that classic pose. Broly just watches, then they perform the fusion dance, and the glow of the fusion can be seen across the entire hyperbolic time chamber. Broly looks surprised. Then out of the smoke comes Gogeta. He is spectacular. Broly then gets startled and remembers Gogeta. Gogeta says, "Alright, big guy, let us see what you can do." Broly, without flinching, goes in with everything, without being able to perceive it. Suddenly behind him comes Gogeta, preparing a kick. Broly is surprised, looks back, and manages to make a block with his hands, but he still gets the worst of it. Gogeta looks smiling because he transformed into Super Saiyan. Broly is also in Super Saiyan. He is apprehensive, confused, trying to understand what Gogeta will do. Gogeta then crosses his arms, and we can see the splendor of a red aura. He has transformed into Super Saiyan God. The red divine glow spreads across the entire hyperbolic time chamber, even blurring Broly's vision, and in a matter of milliseconds, Gogeta's movement begins. He arrives with a series of attacks, hitting Broly, and Broly cannot react. He just stands there, taking the blows and watching what Gogeta can do. Gogeta continues his combo, landing a kick on Broly. Broly is sent far away. He is taking the blows without being able to react. Then we see that Gogeta concentrates concentrates his energy and suddenly transforms into Super Saiyan Blue. Blue, asks Broly. Gogeta smiles, confident. Broly then launches an energy attack with his hands at Gogeta, but Gogeta just smiles, prepares himself, and goes toward the attack, and he dodges with great speed and elegance, surfing through the air as he passes alongside Broly's energy. Then he prepares a kick and lands a full kick on Broly's stomach, who feels great pain. Broly is then thrown far away. Gogeta prepares an attack of light with his hands. He then leaps at high speed and prepares the strike for Broly. Broly is sitting amid the dark energy. Then he looks up, his eyes go blind from the light, and that very light dazzles Broly completely. We can see a great explosion in the hyperbolic time chamber, and Gogeta landing. The dust still hangs in the air, and we see Broly tired. He is surprised, and Gogeta says, "What is wrong, Broly? What is happening?" And Broly is haunted by his memories of Gogeta and the Kamehameha that he took on Earth. All of this during the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. There is a 4K version of this movie on YouTube. On that occasion, Broly only did not die because Chilai teleported him through the wish of the Dragon Balls. Otherwise, Broly's life would have ended right there. Broly is in difficulty, and Gogeta says, "If the pressure of a stronger opponent is too much for you, then I have no choice." Gogeta then prepares his soul purifier, which leaves Broly frightened. Gogeta hurls the ball of energy toward Broly, and Broly furiously grabs that ball of energy, which leaves Gogeta surprised. Then he advances against Gogeta, and screaming, he manages to defend himself against Gogeta's strongest attack. This happens because Broly's soul is pure, therefore that attack does not work on him. Even so, Broly is confused. He cannot defend any of Gogeta's attacks. Gogeta appears behind him, landing. Broly, surprised, looks back, but before he can perceive it again, he takes another blow to the stomach, and Gogeta returns to his initial position. Gogeta is glowing, and with all of his power, he activates Mastered Ultra Instinct and remains calm. Broly looks, and Gogeta says, "Broly, your body adapts in battle on its own, recording the experiences in your muscle memory, where it will later use them to defend yourself and avoid danger. You must learn to clear your mind and tame your instincts. The more your blood stops pumping, the more powerful and cruel you become. You need to learn the right time to use these abilities." Broly does not back down and goes in with everything again. Gogeta just looks and locks his muscles, and in the moment when Broly is about to land a full strike on Gogeta's chest, once again his hand hurts. Broly continues with an enormous sequence of blows toward Gogeta, who easily, with just one hand, blocks them all. Gogeta says, "Attacking while your opponent is on the defensive like that is useless. You have to wait for your chance to attack." And Broly comes in with everything, and once again the Ultra Instinct dodge gets the job done. But suddenly Broly takes a headbutt from Gogeta, who is now in Ultra Ego. The headbutt throws Broly meters away. "You need to learn to defend yourself. You may have powerful instincts, but you cannot use them correctly, so they are useless," says Gogeta. Then we see all of his power in Ultra Ego with a very beautiful purple aura. Broly is visibly tired, hurt, and beaten down. Even so, he keeps going toward Gogeta. Gogeta transitions again from Ultra Ego to Ultra Instinct and dodges Broly with great ease. Broly throws a sequence of kicks, but that is nothing for Gogeta, who very easily defends Broly's overhead punch. Gogeta again returns to Ultra Ego and lands a full kick on Broly. He leaps. Broly is still recovering, and Gogeta says, "It seems you only learned the hard way. That is fine by me." Then Gogeta comes in with everything with the aggressive charge of Ultra Ego, but Broly closes his eyes, and with a dodge very similar to that of Ultra Instinct, Broly dodges Gogeta's strike. Gogeta is surprised, and Broly comes in with a full strike. Did he land a hit for the first time? Gogeta plants his foot on the ground, and we can see that he transitioned to Ultra Instinct and managed to block the attack. Then he immediately returns to Ultra Ego to go on the offensive, but Broly gives a smile because that was the opening he needed. Then Broly lands a punch to Gogeta's stomach, hitting the most powerful Saiyan of all for the first time. Gogeta is sent back. Then he returns to his base form. Gogeta says, "Now yes, this is what I'm talking about," and Broly is very tired. Gogeta closes his eyes. Then he transforms into Ultra Instinct and prepares an extremely powerful energy attack, and with his other hand prepares a sphere of destruction. Broly is surprised. Then Gogeta combines the two attacks. The energy begins to fuse, becomes so powerful that it creates a black core, at the same time that the instability makes it generate. But at the critical moment, the fusion breaks apart. Goku is happy with the result of the training, but Vegeta, not wanting to give in, turns his back. Goku says, "Broly, I think you are ready." And Broly now takes the chance to finally rest. Then we see a stretch of space. They are in Universe 11. There is Toppo, the Pride Troopers, Belmod, the God of Destruction, and Margarita, the Angel. Then we see a supernova, and inside the supernova is Jiren meditating. Belmod says, "It has been a while since I have seen Jiren this excited. I know that training with a supernova is normal for him, but he is meditating in the heart of one. This man is incredible. That is nothing new. This has been his normal training regimen since the tournament," says Toppo. Then we see the supernova shrink. Jiren clenches his fist, then throws a strong punch. The punch leaves its trail through space, and we can see that the supernova dissipated its energy. Well, that is new, says Toppo, and Jiren opens his eyes. He flies toward Toppo, Belmod, and Margarita. Then Belmod says, "Ah, Jiren, what could you be doing here?" And Jiren says, "I need to train." "Heh, you came to the right place, my friend," says Belmod. Then they go to Belmod's planet. At the top are Toppo and the clown god himself, Belmod looking down. And we see that Jiren had the chance to train with Margarita. He is worn out and obviously cannot do anything. Belmod and Toppo watch, talking about the matter. Toppo says, "Jiren seems a little different, does he not?" And Belmod says, "Actually, he is questioning his sense of justice." "Are you related to it then?" asks Toppo. "Of course," Belmod answers. "How do you know?" "I left the Pride Troopers because I decided that true justice was destruction. While traveling with the Pride Troopers, I noticed once or twice that the problems we were dealing with could be solved very easily. Destroying criminals was superior to taming them in every sense, time and time again, making the hero look like a fool." Toppo says, "Yes, that is the story that motivated me to take on the role of destroyer, in fact. But I must say, there is one person who can always make me doubt my own judgment. Is that Margarita? She really is something. I see. Then Margarita is the perfect person to help Jiren with his doubts." And Belmod says, "That is right." Then we see Margarita and Jiren training. "Jiren, I sense you are softly disturbed, dear. Why do you not tell me what you are thinking?" And Jiren says, "I have lived my entire life pursuing justice, and ever since the Tournament of Power, I cannot stop wondering what true justice is." She answers, "How intriguing, Jiren. We angels are forbidden from developing a sense of justice. Do you want to know why? Go on. Your sense of justice is based on your ego, your perception, and as a result, it can never be true justice. True justice is something natural and not forced, and it is the result of pure intentions, without your ego corrupting your idea of right and wrong. That is why we angels must remain neutral and allow the universe to develop as it should. Pure intentions," Jiren reflects, remembering how Goku was. He remembers the Tournament of Power when he said, "Son Goku, why do you still insist on fighting? For what purpose?" And Goku answered, "Beats me. All I want is to get stronger." Returning to the present, he asks himself, "So Son Goku is not so different from you angels?" And Margarita says, "Son Goku does not fight based on any idea of justice or any guideline of what is right and wrong. Every decision he makes is based on his pure desire to become stronger. In fact, every thought and every action is based on his instincts, including protecting others. Goku does not consider himself a hero of justice because his decisions are natural and not based on his ego. This allows Goku to remain free of evil thoughts and the sin that comes from destroying others based on his own standard of what is right and wrong. In fact, Jiren, if you remember well, you openly committed this sin earlier in the Tournament of Power." And she remembers a line from Jiren, "Friendship, trust, I could not care less about any of those terms. To accept that would be to deny everything I have witnessed in my life until now. I will not believe in such strength. I know how easily it can be taken away." Goku watches expressionlessly, as if he realized that Jiren is still immature. "The source of power you trust in is fleeting. I will show you right now." Then Jiren prepares a blast of ki and throws it at the Universe 7 stands. Oh damn, Goku worries, and we can see the attack reaching the stands. Goku then quickly blocks the attack, throwing it against a rock. Then he lands again. "The source of power you trust in is fleeting. Everything will be turned to dust, just like that rock," says Jiren. Goku answers, "I may not be a hero of justice or anything, but anyone who tries to hurt my friends will pay." Returning to the present, Jiren says, "So, basically, if I abandon my sense of justice, true justice will be achieved." "That is right, Jiren. Do you remember that Saiyan, Vegeta?" asks Margarita. "I do," and she adds, "Standing in front of Goku, Vegeta fights for his own ideals and standards of what is right and wrong. He is a very proud man, very much like you, Jiren, and as a result, he always seems to be behind Goku, an endless cycle that comes from a pure heart with impure intentions. When Vegeta fought with the pure intention of protecting his loved ones and keeping his promise to his disciple Kaba, he performed better than anyone could have ever expected. That is the power of pure intention, something that Saiyans in particular seem to benefit from, but they are not the only ones." Belmod says, "That Saiyan Vegeta, it seems he had the right idea for me, but to each their own." Jiren looks back and Belmod adds, "So Jiren, believe it or not, while you are meditating and collecting your thoughts, Toppo went and surpassed me as a destroyer. He is closer than ever to relieving me of duty, and he is eager for a partner to train with." Jiren says, "Are you sure of that?" And Toppo says, "Yes, no one wants to challenge me anymore. Jiren, you are the only obstacle in my path. It would be an honor to help you surpass your limits." "Toppo," says Jiren, "however, do not worry. If you have surpassed Belmod as a destroyer, then you must defeat me as one." "Very well. Do you agree, Toppo? Follow me." Toppo and Jiren go to space. Only there could they demonstrate all of their powers. They face each other head on. Then quickly, Toppo already transforms into the Rakashinman form. Jiren is surprised and sees how Toppo has improved. Toppo has a furious expression and Jiren smiles. Jiren then, without hesitating, attacks first with his traditional sphere of energy. Toppo just looks and easily uses Hakai to destroy Jiren's entire energy sphere. Jiren is surprised and watches Toppo. Toppo says, "I do not have the luxury of holding back at this moment. I suggest you keep your end of the bargain. Jiren says, alright then. Then he raises his power and goes into his full power form. The two face each other. Then the battle between these two monsters begins. They are competing in strength, and the whole universe can feel the pressure of this incredible combat. Jiren screams and goes toward Toppo. Toppo does the same, but Toppo manages to dodge and then looks at Jiren, who with great speed has created a gigantic energy attack and is about to send it at Toppo. Belmod is surprised and Margarita watches. Toppo seems blinded by the attack, then Jiren closes his hand and detonates everything, watching expressionlessly. But out of the smoke comes Toppo. Jiren says, that destroyer power, you still have a long way to go, Toppo. Then he comes in with speed and uses his incredible ability to strike through the eyes. Then Toppo is struck from all sides, even without Jiren needing to touch him. Jiren charges his energy. Jiren then hurls Toppo far away just with his energy, and Toppo crashes into a rock. Toppo is confused and Jiren says, true justice is destruction. It is an interesting idea, but I have always had my doubts, and that is why I could never be a destroyer. Toppo looks apprehensive, and Jiren says, Toppo, if you really believe in what Belmod says, where is your answer? Where is your determination? Is there still a fight inside you that does not embrace destruction? And Toppo comments, there is a fight inside you too, Jiren. We all saw it at the tournament. Your idea of justice looks more like destruction than you think, and that is why I will never give up. And we remember Jiren's line saying, the source of power you trust in is fleeting. Everything will be turned to dust, just like that rock. But Jiren looks serene, then prepares an attack, and this ball of energy is even larger than the previous one. Toppo then prepares to receive the attack. Then with all the splendor of his strength, he goes toward Jiren's attack and tries to hold it back with his hand. Jiren's clear energy converts into a great sphere of the energy of destruction. Jiren watches, and Toppo says, see this, Jiren, you are no different from me. This is the proof. The power of a destroyer has no limits. Then he returns Jiren's energy sphere, now converted into the energy of destruction. Jiren just stood watching. Then with a calm expression, he looks at the sphere and surprises Toppo. A light begins to shine over the entire environment. Belmod is curious, and Margarita watches. You want my answer? Here it is. Jiren observes everything. Then he closes his eyes to concentrate and says, I must destroy my sense of justice. Jiren's answer is about to come. Toppo watches, and Belmod says, oh damn. Toppo is apprehensive. Then behind Toppo, Jiren appears with Ultra Instinct. He grabs Toppo's strike the same way Goku held back his own attack at the Tournament of Power, and with great ease dissipates the energy of destruction. Toppo looks back, but Jiren passes behind Toppo and strikes him without Toppo even noticing, also using the same technique as Goku. In the blink of an eye, Toppo is knocked out. Belmod does not like it at all, but Jiren gently offers love to Toppo. Then Toppo says, well Jiren, it seems there is more justice in you than in any of us, huh? And Jiren agrees, true humble old friend. And Toppo grasps Jiren's hand. And now they look at Belmod and Margarita. Belmod is furious because Jiren easily surpassed the warrior who had already surpassed him. Margarita says, Jiren, are you ready to continue the training? And he says, bring it on. Then we return to Beerus's planet. Goku, Broly, and Vegeta are eating. Then Whis says, these milkshakes are delicious and refreshing. Seeing the boys getting along is also a delight. What is this? asks Broly. You are kidding, right? That is a cheeseburger deluxe. Do not tell me you have never eaten one of these before. Besides, you are holding it wrong, says Goku. Broly just watches, and so does Vegeta. Vegeta comments, Broly was not raised on Earth like you, Kakarot. Saiyans normally have to eat what we can find. Earth food is a luxury apart. And we see Beerus over there sleeping. All the Saiyans look behind. Then suddenly the Grand Priest arrives, along with the two Xenos. Hello everyone, say the Xenos. And the Grand Priest says, greetings Goku. Apologies for the intrusion. It is little Zeni, says Goku. Beerus then wakes up and notices Zeno-sama. He comes over quickly. Then he and Whis bow to revere Zeno. Hi Broly. Are you cool? Say the Xenos. What brings us the honor of your visit, my lord? Asks Whis, and the Grand Priest says, the great Zeno wishes to speak with Goku. Of course. Yes, Goku, we need to speak with you, says Zeno. Okay, just a second, alright? Goku looks back and there is Broly, and he says, well, I do not know what is going on, but I will be back soon, everyone. Then we see a jump to the future. Goku says, long time no see, Jiren. I want to introduce you to a friend of mine. And we see, face to face, Broly against Jiren. And finally the new chapter begins, which shows how it all happened and the battle in full. The chapter is called A Rival Worthy of His Level. We see a setting that is probably Earth, and Vegeta says, geez, what a delay. Get on with it already. And we see that Vegeta is already wearing his God of Destruction earring. And Beerus answers, I have nothing better to do anyway. Stop complaining, you idiot. I could be training. I do not have time for Kakarot's nonsense. Cannot you think of doing anything else? Then suddenly, it is about time. Finally, suddenly Goku arrives with his instant transmission. Whis has not not arrived yet. I thought I would find everyone here already, so I must not have taken that long. Why, Kakarot, you insect? Why did you take so long? Calm down, Vegeta. Whis has not even arrived yet. We took a while because he wanted to learn instant transmission. After seeing how it works, he said he would like to come to Earth on his own. Incredible how he learned so fast. I hope he makes it. There was even time to stop by Master Corrin's tower to pick up the Senzu beans. Damn it, and here I am waiting all this time. I do not want to hear any more of this. Oh no, Vegeta, please just wait one more little minute. If you delay any longer, I am going to give a beating to both of you. It is Whis. He has arrived. Then we see Belmod, Jiren, and Whis says, we have arrived. Hello, Jiren, and Jiren just watches. Wow, Jiren did not even pay attention to me. He did it. It is unbelievable what this Saiyan is capable of doing. Hard to believe he managed to learn instant transmission in such a short time and even teleport himself to another planet. And we simply see Broly with his new combat outfit. How could he have done the instant transmission with so little training? This Saiyan is a freak. And Beerus just watches who has arrived. Broly says, sorry for the delay. I am not used to leaving my planet like this. Goku and Vegeta smile and Jiren turns around. And we have a new face-off of Broly versus Jiren. The two look at each other and Jiren says, let us go. I am not in the mood for games. And Belmod says, good idea, Jiren. This is the strongest warrior of our universe. It would be interesting for you to show your true strength against someone who can be on your level. Jiren looks back and Belmod says, get this over with quickly. And Jiren turns to the front and says, right. The two face each other, and Jiren says, bring it on. And Broly prepares to throw his first strike. However, with ease, Jiren counters the attack before Broly can react, sending him crashing into a mountain. So now, with the marks, Broly gets up, Jiren watches, and Goku says, take it more seriously, Broly. He is very strong. Leave it to me, Mr. Goku. Then Broly raises his ki and transforms into his wrath form. Jiren watches. Broly looks and goes in once more. This time, Jiren tries to do the same thing, but Broly with great speed goes behind Jiren. Jiren counters with a ki attack, and Broly looks, saying, I do not know if I will really need to use my powers on him. He does not seem to me like such a powerful warrior. Broly then blocks Jiren's attack, but out of there comes Jiren again, and he attacks Broly in the face. But Broly manages to counterattack on Jiren's chin. This is starting to get more interesting. Very well, Broly. And the gods of destruction watch the fight seriously. The combat is frantic. Jiren manages to land a blow, but Broly escapes from there. Jiren prepares an attack, but Broly manages to hold him. Jiren is surprised. Then the powerful warrior of Universe 11 steps back. Is that all you can do? Is this all of your power? Broly just watches. I will show you what it means to fight seriously. Then Jiren raises his ki and Broly says, I hope this is not all of your power. No, but it is already enough to end this fight. We shall see. Then Broly attacks Jiren, but Jiren takes the blow head on and does not even move. This is your best strike, which he returns with everything on Broly and starts unleashing a sequence of various attacks on the legendary Saiyan. Broly cannot react to these new offensives from Jiren, now with his enhanced power. And Belmod looks smiling, saying, you should not have challenged Jiren, you idiots. And Goku excited thinks, Jiren must have trained a lot since the tournament. And Jiren continues pressuring the warrior Broly. He lands a punch and then creates an enormous burst of ki, throwing Broly upward. And before Broly fully rises, Jiren already prepares a sphere of ki and says, I want to see you escape this attack of mine. Then he launches it and a gigantic explosion happens. Jiren lands and with his back turned says, it seems I was mistaken. You managed to dodge my attack. And out of there comes Broly Super Saiyan. Goku smiles and says, well, it seems the training paid off. Broly is already managing to control himself much better, and Vegeta just watches the combat with seriousness. Then Broly now charges at Jiren. Jiren manages to land an attack on Broly, but Broly manages to retaliate on Jiren, and the combat continues frantic, with the two hitting and being hit. We can see that both are already hurt, and Broly fires a beam of ki at Jiren, who becomes enraged. Beerus says, finally they are fighting more seriously. I was getting bored of these idiots, and he watches serenely without saying a word. Vegeta says, even so, it is good for this not to get out of control. Broly still cannot fully control himself. No problem, Vegeta. In that case, we can use fusion to stop Broly's power. Get out of here, kid. I am not going to fuse with you again. And the combat continues at a frantic pace. Broly prepares an attack against Jiren, who, surprised, manages to dodge. But from below the ground, Broly surprises Jiren with a gigantic ki attack. Incredible how Broly has extraordinary powers, comments Goku. He is a freak, says Vegeta, and the attack reaches close to Whis. What a powerful guy this is, Belmod asks himself. Then Broly raises the power of his attack and forms his own explosion as well. The dust dissipates, Broly watches, and from inside the strike is Jiren, in his form similar to the Tournament of Power, shirtless and full of fury. He raises his ki with everything. Broly just watches, and Jiren says, I am going to finish you off once and for all, you wretched fool. I am going to send you straight to hell, says Jiren, attacking, and Broly is startled when suddenly Broly takes a blow to the chest that breaks his armor. His pupils go white, and Jiren observes the impact of his attack. He tries to counter with a kick, kick and lands a full hit on Broly's face, who has a practically knocked out expression. Then Jiren goes in and with the speed attack stomps on Broly with all of his strength, unleashing a sequence of various violent attacks. He rises, then says, "You will pay very dearly for making me reach this point. This is your end." And Jiren begins firing balls of energy and prepares his powerful attack, the enormous attack, and Belmod watches saying, yes, he finished him off. And once again Jiren lands, looking with a serious expression. An enormous crater can be seen. Jiren says, "Let us go," and Goku comments, "Incredible how Jiren has increased his powers so much." After the Tournament of Power, Jiren probably had much harder training, and we see in the center of the crater Broly, this time enraged, and he begins to activate his last resort. He screams and raises his ki, transforming completely. His pupils vanish. It cannot be. How does he still have the strength to fight? Who is this warrior? Where does so much power come from? And finally, we have Broly transformed into his legendary Super Saiyan form. "You are already getting on my nerves," says Jiren, charging at Broly. Jiren charges at Broly legendary Super Saiyan. He lands a punch with everything, but the attack has no effect. Jiren is startled, and Broly, "What? He did not even dodge my attack. It is not possible that he took no damage from my blow." Then Broly begins to grow enraged. Jiren, in anger, begins unleashing a sequence of blows on Broly, but nothing has any effect. It is Jiren who steps back. "Damn you, I am going to finish you." He prepares the balls of energy again, and Broly stays standing intact. "Do not come near me." What happened? Is Jiren tired? How did he increase his powers so much? Then Broly begins to scream. Jiren is surprised, and before he realizes it, Broly lands a full punch on his chin, and now it is Jiren who has a knocked out look. He goes in, and Broly, with all of his new speed, lands a full strike on Jiren's stomach, who suffers absurd damage. He is thrown downward, and Broly charges his characteristic attack. He looks impassively at Jiren, this time with a cold expression and a muscular body. Then Broly, smiling, prepares a massive sphere of energy. Jiren senses the danger, and then begins to use all of his power to block the energy, trying to send it back the way he sent back Goku's Genkidama at the Tournament of Power. Broly watches imposingly, but Jiren says, "You may increase your powers, but you will not defeat me with these insignificant attacks." And Broly, still in silence, prepares a sphere of energy and launches it onto his attack again. The sphere of energy grows larger and larger. A small sphere of energy enormously amplified the attack, and Jiren becomes desperate. The attack begins to overwhelm him. Vegeta says, "Jiren cannot continue. He must have reached his limit. If he can no longer fight, we will have to stop Broly." "No, I do not see any need to stop. Broly can already control his powers better." Well, in a certain way, he is still trying to control himself. His state is still very frightening. However, he is not acting like a Saiyan in his form, completely without any control. The training worked out better than imagined. It is just a matter of time until he can take control of his powers. That is right. You are going to regret what you are doing here, and know that this is not all of Jiren's power. I am sure that Jiren can still win. He is very powerful. I imagine that he may have the conditions to continue this combat. "You idiots barely know who you are messing with," says Belmod. "Jiren is not the same as when he fought at the Tournament of Power." And we now see a much larger crater. Broly lands and holds his pose, and from inside, who is this warrior? How can he have so much power? I never thought that one day I would have to use all of my powers. That attack of yours was impressive. Then Jiren begins to raise his ki, and surrounded by lightning, he takes a new form and faces Broly. "With everything, you must really be the most powerful warrior of your universe. I underestimated you. I will not make that mistake again." Then Jiren begins to raise his ki. "You had better stop with this clowning," says the clown. "Do not worry, everything will be fine." Then Broly enraged and Jiren enraged charge at each other. The two attack ferociously, and their fists meet in synergy of attack. But it is Jiren who has the advantage, breaking Broly's attack, who furiously seeks to react, then grabs Jiren's head, preparing punches. Jiren ends up with a bloody face. So does Broly. Wretch. And Broly fires an energy attack from his mouth. Jiren also retaliates with the energy attack, and the strikes meet. The two are then repelled far away. They grip the ground to contain the impulse, and we see that Jiren is very tired. "I cannot fight anymore. What is happening to me? My body will not resist anymore if I continue." And Broly remains imposing. "How can there be someone stronger than me? I have to defeat this bastard." Then Jiren begins to bring out all of his power. His clothes begin to tear. His muscle mass increases. Then Broly closes his eyes, and suddenly when he opens them, his pupils return. He then raises his ki in a brutal way. Lightning can be seen surrounded by a cyclonic energy. It is as if Broly had finally mastered even his last form, the legendary form, arm, reaching the peak of his training. Jiren then charges at Broly, and Broly puts up his guard. Then he charges at Jiren also with everything. The two then trade a blow to the face simultaneously. Jiren takes the impact, so does Broly, but it is Broly who gets the better of it. He prepares a new strike and lands it on Jiren's face, remaining serious while Jiren is about to fall to the ground. Broly says, "You have no way of continuing to fight. I see that you have reached your limit. I did not even need to use all of my powers. It is better to stop. It was a great pleasure to fight you, but this fight is over." And Jiren on the ground clenches his fist as if denying defeat. "What do you think you are doing?" Then suddenly Jiren stands up smiling with his hands stained with blood. "I told you you will not manage to defeat me, you wretch." And Broly looks saying, "Why do you not give up? Can you no longer do anything with your body? Well, it seems I will have to give you the final blow. Look at yourself. You cannot even move as before. You will end up killing yourself this way." Then Broly begins to prepare an attack, and this strike is simply Goku's Kamehameha. Jiren is simply shocked. "Jiren!" screams the God Belmod. "The attack is thunderous. Will this be the end of Jiren?" Suddenly someone rises in front of the strike, and dissipating the attack, Gogeta appears saying, "That is enough for today. Thank you for the demonstration." And finally, the battle of Broly against Jiren comes to a close.